Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Rama and I'm a platinum leader with Young Living, and I just wanted to hop on really quick and tell you some of the things that we do in our household for immune support and immunity. So I'm just going to take you through. It is like perfect timing because I just wrote a post the other day on the immune system and what we do, and it was an irony of the fact that I just told one of my friends, and hey girl, what's up? The lighting's not so great because it's nighttime, but we'll just wing it. And I just did another talk in another group and I was crying, so here I am. Hey, so anyway, so I was just telling a friend, it's the ironic thing, I was just literally the night before, I was like, oh, we never get sick, and my kids never get sick, which is true. We really, really do. It's rarely. And if we do, we just, we nip it in the bud like we know what to do as Oilers, and we move on. Or, we start to dip below the wellness line. We, attack it really fast, and there you have it. We support all of the body systems. So I'm going to keep this compliant. So, the next day, after I had said this, my daughter came down and started dipping below the wellness line, and I was like, what? So I looked at it as a welcome opportunity for how to go to town with our oils, because sometimes when you don't get, you don't dip below the wellness line, you're staying above it all the time, you don't really get to experience some of the true effects of how to really support that and beef that up. So I wanted to talk really quick about something that we do in our family, and I like to call it, I've labeled it the faux raindrop technique. And I say faux because when doing it on children, the real raindrop technique is it's undiluted with high concentrations of oils, right? And it's very, very, very healing for the body, of aligning energy and detoxing and really hitting some of the gnarly things that can be hiding out in our spine. Please Google that if you have never Googled the raindrop technique and have never experienced it or tried it or had a massage therapist do this technique. It is so phenomenal. There are people that have had, really intense things that have really found supported body systems by using that just after one, I don't know if we want to call it treatment, but one technique after 1 hour of having this done. It's got really strong oils like thyme and oregano and thieves and valor, I believe. I think thieves is in it. You guys might want to check me on that, because it's mostly individual on a lot of the herbal ones. So on my child, I do a faux raindrop, and how I do it, I'm just going to go down the list of what I do to do that. I basically, if it's an older child, so 6 years and up, I take carrier oil, and this is going to be diluted based on dilution and what you feel comfortable with, okay, as a parent. So if you're hearing me say something that you're like, don't worry, you do what you do you, and you do what you need to do to feel comfortable with dilution. You know the ratios. If you don't, you can look them up or ask your leader or look in your groups or whatever. So I coat the back of my child's back with carrier up all the base of the neck, down the spine, and all the way down lower back. And I make sure I get behind the ears as well. And then what I do is I take a concoction of frankincense and tea tree, and I'm just going to label it. So I do frankincense, tea tree. I'll pull out all the ones I have. Frankincense, thieves, tea tree. We're going to do lemon or orange. Orange actually is the highest in D-limonene, which is nature's highest antioxidant, called D-limonene. There's the most content is in orange. So if you're looking at which oil should I use, that's just a single citrus. All of them are very immune supporting, but orange oil has the most D-limonene, which is a very powerful antioxidant. And antioxidants, as we know, we're going to talk about that in a minute, are really great for immune supporting. I do oregano, which is a very hot oil. Make sure you dilute always, as is thieves. Copaiba for the natural response to injury or irritation. Cinnamon bark, actually, also very, very hot. And you can do peppermint on older children. If you're not comfortable with peppermint, replace it with cypress. Okay, cypress is great. And the reason why I use this, it helps with the body temperature, and so does lemon, but also if you want to use it to help the respiratory system, and you're like, well, my child's a little young for peppermint, if you're feeling that way, then you can use cypress. Same thing with eucalyptus. If you don't feel comfortable using eucalyptus on a younger child, use cypress or pine. So then what I do is kind of similar to the raindrop technique. I do what's called layering, and that's when you take the oil and you drop it about 6 inches above the spine. You do one drop. So this is not making rollers. Okay, so rollers are great and all, but if they're really starting to dip, you know what I'm talking about? 'Cause can't talk completely, not compliantly, but if they're really starting to like, you know, go down but below that wellness line, all right, you're gonna do this. You take one drop, just one, and again, age appropriate, what you feel comfortable, and dilution. Okay, and then you're gonna rub it in and massage it all up and down the spine, behind the, you know, back of the neck, around the ears, and down, all the way down, and really just get that in, especially that spine. And then you're gonna, you know, give it like a few seconds. It doesn't have to be perfect, right? And then you're gonna do the next one, and the next one, and the next one, and you're gonna do as many as you feel comfortable doing. Okay, and you're gonna do the immune supporting ones that are gonna really support that immune system and hit those gnarly things that we don't want hanging around, right? And you can end with Copaiba because it does act as a magnifier, and it's really incredible. But I definitely do a handful. I mean, I think what I'm learning when people say, "Oh, oils aren't working for me," the oils scientifically are in the business of working. So if they're not working for you, either you have an expectation of why they're not working, that the oils, like you're expecting them to do something that they're not actually going to do for you, number one, or number two, you're not oiling up hardcore enough. And that's really crazy for me to say because I was very, very, what's the opposite word of liberal? I was very conservative. Hello. I was very conservative for a very long time of the oils because, you know, you guys, like, we don't know them, we didn't grow up with them, like, you know, we got to be very careful. And one drop of peppermint oil, as we know, is equivalent of 26 drops of peppermint tea, the most potent form of herb. The little less is more. I always teach that. We don't need a lot to do their job, right? But I realized, hey, Deidre, there's my sister-in-law's on here. Hey, Ryan. Hey, Sean. And I realized that I can let the leash, the rope out a little bit and use a little bit more liberally, and it's okay. Like the fact that we bomb our systems with like antibiotics, right? But we're like, but don't use too many oils. It just, I mean, it's a little extreme, right? And it's not to say that we shouldn't use all the oils like crazy, you know, be mindful, but I've learned what I'm comfortable with as a mom, and I've seen incredible results. So the other day, my little girl, 3 years old, I actually did something separate for her, not a one at a time drop layering. And you want a one at a time drop layer. Like there's something to that technique. There's a very specific way about that. You can read about that. You can Google that. But what I did with her was I made her a little mason jar, like those the little ones, like, I don't know, 4 ounces, I don't know, of coconut oil, thick coconut oil, like a muscle rub, like 4 tablespoons or however much you want to dilute it. And then I would do, you know, 2 to 3 drops of each. And I would mix it around really good, you know, again, however you like to do the dilution. And then you swipe it enough, and then you do it that way. And then I would do the bottoms of her feet like VitaFlex very, very well. So I would make sure they went all the way up to the toes and massage. Very, like, the VitaFlex technique is like you have to have short fingernails and do this like motion thing. You can look up what that is. But there's something about that massage technique that electrically and energetically sends the oils, like you're pushing, there's like movement and energy going so that it hits all the organs of your body and the cells of your body by doing that on the bottoms of the feet. So I make sure, I don't know how to VitaFlex like professionally, so I just really massage them in really, really well, each one. And then I socked her feet. Is that a thing? Is that a word? I don't know. And then, you know, I did the thing, and I watched her transform literally, you guys, in 2 hours from being like just under, you know, trying to drop below or whatever, and then just feeling like she's just like, you know, feeling so much more supported after two hours. It was incredible. So that's how we keep ourselves well and above the wellness line, is we, you know, see the signs and we go at it pretty hard. And I was just going to read through some of the things we do to keep us above the wellness line on the daily, because I wrote the other day, I said, what did I say? I said that the true immune system support is a lifestyle of wellness on the daily. Can I get an amen? Right? You can't out oil a bad diet, and you can't, start feeling bad and be like, oh, I should start juicing now. I should start eating a whole foods diet now. I should start using probiotics now, right? Like, these are things that you start to, as you go, you don't have to be perfect at this, but you start to implement things one at a time in your life. Like, okay, So bone broth used to freak me out, but then the Instant Pot came around, and you can do bone broth, you guys, in 2.5 hours instead of having it run in a crock pot for 2 days. Whoa! And bone broth is very detoxifying. It's incredibly nourishing for the body. It's good for the immune system. It's got tons of minerals, good for hair, skin, nails, and joints. Here's how you do it, okay? You stick, bones and backs are the best. Chicken is fine. You want pasture raised, okay? You stick them in your Instant Pot. You fill it up with 3 quarts of filtered water. You can put some scraps of carrots and celery and onions and whatever, and you put it on the soup function for 2.5 hours, and it gels like nobody's business. So always have that on hand, just in your freezer. Just freeze a whole bunch of it. Just make batches and have it, so that when it's time, you're prepared, right? And you want to you be drinking that and using that as stock anyway, because it tastes so good. So there's one thing that we do. Another thing is we always have Inner Defense, which is right here, always in our cabinet, in our fall and winter arsenal. We don't go without this, because this is like your big bang bomb thing. Like if you need to I'm going to read what the website says so I can be compliant. But basically, Inner Defense reinforces systematic defenses, creates an unfriendly terrain for yeast and fungus, and promotes healthy respiratory function. That's all compliant. That's Inner Defense. So if you guys know that, something's going around and you want to keep above that wellness line, you can do, pop an Inner Defense and start taking it like 1 a day. If you know that you're starting to dip, you can take 1 to 3 a day, as long as you feel comfortable doing that. So Inner Defense is also, it's a blend of thieves, oregano, thyme, lemongrass. Keep it this is amazing. We love it. Another one is we take as much Nature Red as possible. You guys already know, if you're not on the Nature train, you should be. It's amazing. Do a 30 days with it and then try a week without it, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. I feel like it's cellular life. Like it makes your cells come alive without caffeine, without gnarly stuff, because it's so high in antioxidants. Okay, I'm going to nerd out for a second, and I hope I don't make this whole thing too long, but we're going to put on our nerd scientific hats for a second. Okay, what's an antioxidant and what's a free radical? Here we go. You ready? Ready? It's going to be really nerdy. I nerd out. I'm also a certified holistic nutritionist, so I really love this stuff, and other people are like, science. No. But, okay, here we go. Just go with me. My dad's an organic PhD chemist, and I swore to him I would never take science, and I would never be a scientist or a doctor or anything related, and I'm totally a nerd now. So he can be proud from a distance, but he can't say I told you so, right? Okay, because you don't tell Persians that. Anyway, okay, what is a free radical? A free radical is an atom or group of atoms. Okay, think biology and cells, right? The atoms. Remember we used to make the models of cells. Okay, anyway. A free radical is an atom or group of atoms that has an unpaired electron. Remember the electron, neutron, protons, right? Okay, so it has an unpaired electron and is therefore unstable and highly reactive. An atom's chemical behavior is determined by the number of electrons in its outermost shell. When the outermost shell, think of it like a video game. When the outermost shell is full, the atom is stable and tends to not engage in chemical reactions. Chemical reactions are bad. When, however, the outermost shell is not full, the atom is unstable. It will try to stabilize itself by either gaining or losing an electron to either fill or empty its outermost shell. Or it will share its electrons by bonding with another atom that is also looking to complete its outer shell. So it's like this game of who's going to have, get the stuff, who's going to steal all the things to complete this outer shell, right? It's not uncommon for an atom to complete its outer shell by sharing an electron with another atom and forming a bond. Free radicals are terrible, by the way. Free radicals form when one of these weak bonds between electrons is broken and an uneven number of electrons remain, right, on that outer shell. This means the electron is unpaired, making it chemically reactive. It will now try and steal an electron from a neighboring molecule to stabilize itself, so it becomes this game of stealing. Once a free radical forms and it succeeds in gaining another electron from a nearby molecule, it totally sounds like a game, you guys. It leaves its victim short an electron and now has made this new molecule a free radical, which will in turn try and steal an electron as well. This results in what we call a free radical cascade, an enormous chain reaction of free radicals that quickly wreaks havoc on living tissue. Okay, wait for this. It is estimated that the chain reaction can trigger 6.023 times 10 to the 21 billion, I told you it was nerdy, billion molecules to react per second. Okay, that's crazy. So free radicals form, here's how they form. Y'all should know. They form a result of diet, stress, smoking, alcohol, even too much strenuous exercise, inflammation, drugs, exposure to air pollutants, all the the CRAP we put on like our bodies, like women especially, that is completely full of synthetic chemicals, all of this stuff. Okay, so then what is an antioxidant? Check out this. So antioxidants enter in this bad boy. Okay, massive doses of antioxidants. Listen up, science, here we go. We're gonna keep going. Antioxidants are intimately involved in the prevention of cellular damage. We want to keep our DNAs healthy and not mutated. You know what I'm talking about, okay? The common pathway for cancer, okay, it said it, the article said it. Cancer, aging, okay, so premature aging too. That's why like we start to wrinkle and all the things, okay, and a variety of diseases. The scientific community has begun to unveil some of the mysteries surrounding this topic, and the media has begun, we don't need to read about that. Okay. It's free radicals. The free radicals are atoms or groups of atoms with an old unpaired number of electrons that can be formed when oxygen interacts with certain molecules. Once formed, okay, so now that this cascade has happened, once formed, these highly reactive radicals start a chain reaction, that billionth thing I just said. Like dominoes, their chief danger comes from the damage they can do when they react with important cellular components such as DNA. Okay, we don't want our cells mutating. We know what happens when that happens, okay? Or the cell membrane. Cells may function poorly or die if this occurs. To prevent free radical damage, the body has a defense of antioxidants. Antioxidants are molecules which can safely interact with free radicals and terminate the chain reaction. These guys stop the reaction. How cool is that, okay? So every time you're taking your shot, think, I'm stopping a free radical chain reaction before vital molecules are damaged. Although there are several enzyme systems within the body that scavenge free radicals, the principal micronutrient vitamin antioxidants are, wait for it, vitamin E, beta carotene, which is vitamin A, and vitamin C. Additionally, selenium, a trace metal that is required for the proper function of one of the body's antioxidant enzyme systems, is sometimes included in this category. The body cannot manufacture these micronutrients, so they must be supplied by the diet, people. This is why people have tremendous results with this, okay? So check this out. What did I find out tonight? Okay, I found out that that Nature Red has 300% of your daily vitamin C. Remember, that was one of the things. 250% of your, oh no, that's super, hold on. It has 91% of selenium, which we talked about. Selenium is one of the things. 90% of vitamin E and 180% of beta carotene. So literally, you know, it's got every single thing that you need to stop this chain reaction to keep your cells healthy and functioning, like, and then some, like over the top crazy, right? So, and it's got essential oils in here as well that are high in D-limonene, even a more powerful antioxidant. And you guys know. So Nature Red is incredibly powerful for the immune system. They keep our immune systems going strong, free radicals swept out, and not having our immune systems having to like fight harder. So drink your Nature every day, 1 to 2 ounces. That's for those stats I just said was for a 2 ounce shot of Nature were those amounts. If you want a 1 ounce, you just half those amounts, and you're still getting over your daily dose of vitamin C, E, selenium, beta carotene. So there's that. We love our antioxidants, and people are all like, what are antioxidants? I'm like, just think healthy DNA and healthy cells, and you know, sweeping away the free radicals that we do not want happening. We don't want premature aging either. So there's that. Okay, what else is next week? What do you guys do to keep yourself hey Kristen, hey Deidre, I keep it where my wine bottle used to be. Hey, wine has antioxidants too, but I tell you what, this makes me feel a lot better, I'm not gonna lie, even though I live in wine country, Oregon. Hey Kristen, 2 Kristens on here. Okay, so what else is next? We got, okay. Oh, just the fact that one of my builders always says you can't oil a bad diet. So try it. You guys know this. It's like, I feel like I'm preaching to the choir because you all are like, you know, on the trail for health, but seriously, kick the crap food out of your lives. Like, it's just doing you no justice. You know, it's causing harm. You're either feeding your cells or you're fueling them. And I say this as a cancer survivor. This is why I'm really big in antioxidants, and I nerd out with this stuff because I have to be. I've said before, I was radiated pretty intensely at 19. I had a tumor the size of a grapefruit in my chest cavity at 19 years old. I was super healthy, and I had no idea how you would get this. And 95% of cancers, you guys, are environmental. So what we're putting in and on our bodies absolutely matters. So antioxidants, huge for that, keeping that DNA healthy and, you know, repaired and not mutating and replicating down the road. terribly. And that's what radiation does. It damages your DNA. And then down the road, years later, it starts to replicate when it does the splicing or whatever, it replicates abnormally. And that's how people get cancer again down the road. They think it's some like, random chance. It's like, well, you just got pumped full of chemotherapy and radiation. Like, what do you think is going to happen? And so they're doing it, the best way they know how is like, just bomb the heck out of your body, man. I look back, I think we're going to look back one day and go, so what were we thinking exactly? Let's bomb everything, and you just hope you survive. You hope all your healthy cells survive the bomb, And I know that's what we have in our society, in our country. That's what insurance pays for, and that's what we're given as hope. And I get it. Like, when you're looking at life or death, what are you going to do? And so looking back, for me personally, I never, ever would have received radiation, and nor did I have to have it. 3 years later, they told me, oh, by the way, they came out with a study because it had been long enough. They could see the long-term effects of this population on females, 20 and under that have been radiated in the chest cavity and all of this. And they said, well, the risks far outweigh down the road the good of what we think we're doing here. Really, chemo would have done it. I'm like, okay, thanks, guys. So, you just know that you do the best you can with what you have. And now we take our Nietzsche and all of our oils because they're full of antioxidants and immune supportive things, right? To help keep ourselves healthy, because you don't want chemo and radiation. It's terrible. Okay, you feel sick. So another thing, we eat mostly, our family has gotten on a train where we eat mostly grain-free and definitely gluten-free. We're not always grain-free. And it's not to say that grains are terrible by any means, but for our family, we found that felt really good. We tried to do the GAPS diet for a while to heal some leaky gut stuff. So gut health is also very, very important for the immune system as well. And we realized that, wow, we really started to feel a lot better than we thought. Even though we felt healthy and we thought we were eating healthy, that was just I kind of took it up a notch. And so you can really explore different diets that work for you. Don't think that there's one size fits all. You got to figure out what works for you. You might react to a food and someone else might be just fine. But find those things that are inflammatory in your diet and take them out, because inflammation, as we know, is the root of all disease. We're trying to calm down that response in our body. So eat well, lots of dark leafy greens, raw juice if you can. And I say that because it's a way to get so many nutrients and veggies and dark leafy greens and fruit all in one. People say, well, isn't a smoothie great? It totally is. But if you want to hammer and hit your immune system pretty hard, that's a really easy way to do it. It's just like, even if you have like scraps, you're like, oh, they're going to go bad, just like throw them in a juicer. You're good. Maybe stick an orange in it and you've got some extra vitamin C, and you can't have enough vitamin C, right? And that takes us to the next thing, is make sure you're taking high doses of vitamin C, which would be your Nietzsche, okay? And then we have Super C, and the Super C is so awesome, you guys. It tastes awesome. It's made with natural whole foods ingredients like acerola, camu, rose hips, or orange oil. So we've got flavonoids and from lemon and stuff that are actually like good. I used to think Emergency was good for you, and I found out it was fake. It was like ascorbic acid or whatever was like the fake C, and it was like terrible for my body. And I was like, man, I thought I was doing a good thing, and this is good. This is good. It comes in these little yummy, I give them to my kids. Just give them to your kids, pop them. They think they're little candies or whatever. They're amazing because they taste kind of like cherryish. So you can take a lot of those to keep yourself above the wellness sign. Make sure you get adequate vitamin D. So 5,000 IUs a day, definitely, every day for all family members, especially the Pacific Northwest. Get a vitamin D. I want Young Living to carry one. Omega-3s would be next. We have Omega Dries, so take your Omega Dries on the daily. Cod liver oil is awesome, fermented cod liver oil. Some people really like that. Eat your wild salmon all day, every day, right? Wild salmon is fantastic for that. And also vitamin D is amazing because it helps the body's response to injury and irritation. It helps uplift your mood if you're starting to feel sad, if you know what I'm saying. Can't quite use the word, I don't think, with what I want to say, but if you feel like a saddened mood, it helps elevate that, and it helps your brain. It's like brain food. Omega-3s are, so fish oil is incredible for the brain. So is mind-wise. These things are necessary for the immune system to stay strong, especially vitamin D. Huge. Another thing is gut health, which we kind of hit on a second ago. Gut health meaning You're filling your body as much as you can with probiotic rich foods and probiotics. So you're not going to get enough through our food system anymore. Our soils are depleted of natural soil-based organisms, unfortunately. I don't know if you guys have seen the studies where it talks about farm kids have less asthma and allergies than city kids because they're around the animals and the dirt and things. We kind of became a sterile environment, and antibacterial to everything. And now it's like, whoa, we need the bugs. The bugs are helpful. The bugs are, I don't know if you know this, but 90% of your immune system, about 80 to 90, lives and resides in your gut, meaning we are more bacteria than we are anything else. And water, I think. So you want your Life 9 probiotics, and you want to get different strains. So I switched this one up with a soil-based one as well. You can get it off of Amazon, find a really good reputable one, because I want the soil-based strains and then I want these strains. And so you can vary it every other day. You can take this for a couple months and take the other one for a couple months, but it's all good to populate your gut, and they're your fighters. They literally fight for you when you're going under and you want to stay above the wellness line. They help you fight. And when we take other things, antibiotics, probiotics, antibiotics, right? It destroys all of your probiotics. So people ask me, well, when I'm taking antibiotics, should I take probiotics? I'm like, yes, your gut needs it desperately. Just take them separately. So when you take antibiotics, say in the morning, try not to take antibiotics ever, please. Can I just say that out loud? Like, seriously, unless you're dying. That's number one, because we have all kinds of other things that, can help. I didn't just say that, did I? I didn't say it, so it's fine. We have other things that can help, support the immune system for sure. But if you're in that space and you have to, you whatever. So you do your ones in the morning, and then you take your probiotics separately later. But you need to take them, and I say sometimes during those times, like 3 to 6 of these a day for sure. Especially if you're trying to really heal your gut and do some leaky gut stuff, you can take what should be called like a mega dose of probiotics for sure. So probiotics are good. Probiotic rich foods, kombucha, fermented sauerkraut, kimchi, kefir water, all that. Fermented yogurt. Most commercial yogurts don't have really good probiotics in them, unfortunately, but Nancy's plain white yogurt is a 24-hour true fermented yogurt. So it has the probiotics. You need a full 24 hours to get the fermented, all the yummy probiotics that are going to help really populate your gut. Most commercial yogurts, it's like, is it 4 to 6 to 8, something like that maybe. And so you're not getting the full, it's kind of like distillation. Think of it like when we distill our oils, right? Cypress takes a full, isn't it like it takes a full 12 hours or 24 hours to distill cypress, and most companies distill at 8, so they're missing like all these constituents. Same thing with yogurt. And yogurts, a lot of yogurts on the market are full of sugar. So either make your own. It's so easy to make your own homemade yogurt. Look it up on Google it. You can make your own coconut yogurt too with probiotics if you don't subscribe to like dairy. And how you do that is you open these up and you put them in as you're making the yogurt, and they populate. Like, how amazing is that? So it's really fun to do too, you guys. You don't have to make everything from scratch, but pick a couple things. Maybe you want to try bone broth. Maybe you want to try making kombucha, but just try it. Try it, because it tastes good and yummy, especially sauerkraut on eggs and hamburgers and all that, fermented sauerkraut. My friend taught me how to make a Salvadoran one. It's got some spices in it. It's amazing. Yeah, it's like a condiment. You just put it on everything, and you're filling your gut every day just by eating with yummy, wild, fermented probiotics that are so good for your gut and so good for your immune system. So take your probiotics daily, you guys, and don't mess around with your kids. Your kids have got to do this. You know what I do? I go like this. I just pop this open like this, pull it open, sprinkle it into whatever is mixable, and they take it. That's how they take it if they can't do pills. They need it. So don't even mess around with, they have it, they take it sometimes. Every day. Don't even skip. Promise. Okay. What else? And then I'll jump off because I think this is getting long. Hydration, obviously, keep yourself hydrated. Berkey water filter system is amazing if you're going to go that way. I mean, we just got that for the first time. We were just using tap forever and finally got something to filter our water, and it's amazing. And it filters out all the junk. Did you know acetaminophen and stuff and pharmaceuticals end up in our water supply? I had no idea all this stuff. You guys, this wasn't this, I just became this crunchy mama overnight. This has been years and years of slowly trading out the things, and we got our Berkey finally, and it's been so amazing. So look it up, Berkey water filter system on Amazon. It's phenomenal. And there's a lot of stuff in the water I had no idea. I won't even go into it all, but it's horrifying. Just what? So it's kind of, and a lot of thyroid disrupting things, chemicals that are in our water. And I already had some thyroid stuff after I had my little girl. And so I didn't want more of that. So, and then that leads us into the next thing is balancing your hormones is fantastic and crucial. You have to balance your hormones for a strong immune system. So ladies, listen up. If you're not on this, get you some right now. Like, go to your ER or your quick order and go get this right now. Do you see this, Progestins Plus? Okay, it is amazing. If you don't know what it does, talk to your leader, your upline, your person who invited you, whatever, and get you some. You start low and slow, a drop. It's a serum, so it's not like you use this sometimes. You put it by your bedside. You do maybe a drop on your forearms every night before bed, and you can work your way up to maybe 4 drops if you need it. It balances periods. It helps with cramps. It helps with libido and weight management and all the things that are women hormones. Okay, women, not men, but women hormones, because most women are low in progesterone, low and deficient. And this is a serum, so you don't have to it doesn't get stored in fatty tissue like the creams. You can, your body is an adaptogen, so it'll use it and it'll let go of what it doesn't need. And you don't have to cycle it. You can use it every night regardless. It's amazing. It really, you know what it started doing for me? I started sleeping better because sleep is a part of your hormonal process. It starts up here with like melatonin and everything. And that really, I started noticing a difference right away, and it's amazing. So if you get a little headachy at first by using it, that actually means you need it. So like back off and just go low and slow and let it work its way in. It takes a couple weeks, like anything, okay? But it's phenomenal. So I was so shocked to learn about P+. It's a game changer, Ryan. Isn't it a game changer? I need every female, uterus or without, doesn't matter, y'all need it. Not scary cancer kind. Nope, not at all. And here's what's awesome about this is that here's how the body works. This is for another talk. This is getting long. But the more you have higher progesterone levels, it balances. It's like this teeter-totter. It balances estrogen levels. So if you got more progesterone, then it balances estrogen. So you don't get estrogen dominance. What does estrogen dominance lead to? Estrogen dominated related cancers. We do not need more of that, people. 3 people in the last few weeks at a time, all diagnosed with breast cancer, all getting their breasts removed and having to go through treatment. Like, not okay. We need to keep our hormones and our estrogen levels in balance. So check this out, research it. Amazing. Keeps your immune system functioning because it's not fighting all this other crazy. Your hormones have to be balanced. And then I will say lots of sleep. I don't know if you know this, but melatonin is crucial for the immune system. So you need to get deep sleep, good sleep, adequate sleep. So take MuPro if you haven't. People say, well, you don't want to take melatonin every night. Well, don't take it every night then. But I will show you what it looks like. It's awesome. It has other immune supporting properties too, like reishi mushroom, and it's got the wolfberry, strawberry, orange, larch tree, maitake mushroom. So really, really good for the adrenals, the immune system. It looks like this. It's a chewable, okay? And let me see that. There we go. It's a chewable. And this, I don't take a whole one. I take a half or a fourth or sometimes a third. And sometimes if I'm really needing sleep, maybe I'll take 3/4. Some people use a whole one and they're just fine. And they love using whole. But the cool thing is you can kind of dose yourself and see what you need. And for me, it's the nights when, I've done my oils and I'm doing, got my Tranquil and definitely do all of your sleepy oils. But my mind, I didn't give enough time to have some downtime and bring my mind down. It's all like this, right? Because we're moms and we've got a million things to do and there's a list, right? And it just helps me when I've gone to bed too late, when you kind of miss the train, you've missed your sleep train and you're now on your second wind. It really helps on those nights so much. So I leave this by my bedside and I never run out, and I don't use it. This lasts me a long time. So bite pieces off of it and stuff. So nibbles only. You don't need a whole one, but if you do need a whole one, that's fine too, and just do what you need to do, but get lots of sleep. And I think that's it for you guys. I'm sure I could go on for days, and I don't want this to be too long, but other things for digestive health would be definitely take your essential zyme and your detox zymes. They help break food down so your body's not fighting super, super hard to break food down. And you guys, oh my gosh, almost forgot. This is the last. Sulfurzyme is rocking my world. You guys, Sulfurzyme. I want to post a whole thing on this. I think I just might have to do that because this is long. But seriously, Sulfurzyme, it is, I can't even tell you how good this is for your immune system, especially if the body's attacking itself. You know what I'm talking about? helps you detox, helps hair, skin, and nails, you guys, grow like crazy, and it's good for joints. It's amazing. So maybe I'll do a separate post on this, but anyway, those are, it sounds like a lot, honestly, in a way, but it just becomes a natural part, like secondary to us. It just becomes secondary. You just know what to grab, when to do it. You know that when you need respiratory support, you grab your Breathe Again and you just roll it on your chest. You just kind of start to get in the habit of learning this new lifestyle, and you do it one moment at a time. When I got my kit, I had no idea what the heck I was doing. I thought they just smelled good and you could use them for cleaners. I didn't know you could have emotional release and like immune support. I had no idea, but we learn, right? Just like anything else, like riding a bike, we learn and we pick the things that we want to do, and we keep our immune system strong. And I'm going to tell you what, which is so awesome, to the testament of whole foods and oils and all the things, like my kids, you guys, they've never had allergies, asthma, antibiotics, and ear infections, nothing. And I'm not saying that to toot my horn, because I'm not. I'm saying it because you do the best you can with what you have, and to see that, like, this is what happened, is I told a nurse that, and she looked at me with like horror, like with shock, like, what? I was like, wait, that's not normal? Because I didn't know. And so it's like, and it was because of my own cancer scare that had me be so vigilant right when they were born. And I still messed up and learned. I still gave my first child formula, and I look back, wish I wouldn't have done that. But like, it was what it was. I didn't know, I was having so many breastfeeding problems, and we do the best we can. But to see their immune system stay strong throughout, even when they start to dip below, that we have the arsenal to like support our kids, is awesome. We don't have to, always grab for the over-the-counter. Like, our family uses nothing over-the-counter. You guys, I grew up on McDonald's and Tylenol, okay? And we had Pepto-Bismol, the pink weird stuff, in my refrigerator. So it's like it shows that it just is a testament to these things work. They're not hippie, crunchy voodoo. They work. So to know that I don't use kids' Tylenol. Can I even say that online? Is that compliant? Oh gosh, maybe I'm not being compliant. We like to stay above the wellness line with these things. Sorry, I think I might have derailed myself. Hopefully my video doesn't get deleted. But anyway, all right, that's all I have. Keep your immune system strong and well. Stay above the wellness line and use your oils. Bye, you guys. Thanks for having me.